She buying everything I wanted. She fly me out to Waikiki. I'll be all on her bikini. Take her money, go Houdini. I call her when I'm eating. On my feet, you see them CCs. Neck and ears, you see them BBs. On my jeans, you see them GGs. Treat that like she a Fifi. Big body bang like BB. Hit it in the back of GD. Let me know you free breathe. Okay, talk out of my wrist. Watch, I keep it stick. I keep it beat. Glove, you can hear. Shots, I keep it stick. I tell a kid, rocks, okay, kid, rocks, let's go trick.
Check, 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 check. Check, check, check.
I just turned it on, so whenever you're ready.
Oh. Hello, everyone, and welcome to Fulton, Missouri for Westminster College Baseball on the Blue Jays Sports Network. The Greenville Panthers, 18-7, undefeated in SLIAC play, first in the SLIAC East, come into Fulton tonight to take on Westminster at 8-7, 4-2, second place in the SLIAC West. Not a lot of games for the Blue Jays so far underneath their belts, but the weather has been an issue for them through the first 3 months of the season. That being said, we'll take a little bit of a look here at the Blue Jays out of the last 4 or 5 games in SLIAC play, 4-2, coming off of a win at Iowa Wesleyan University. They won that one 15-0, sent the game into an 8-inning run rule. And if they can pick up where they left off there, well, then they might be able to unseat the Greenville Panthers tonight. Greenville, meanwhile, coming off a win on April 6th, a 9-2 victory, a doubleheader victory that is, over Principia College, and they cruise to their 10th straight win in the SLIAC. So far, out of the first 4 or 5 SLEAC Series of the year. Westminster sits at second place in the West. Greenville on top in the East, as Webster has run away with things so far. They've gotten a lot of their games in and currently sit with a large, hefty lead over Westminster College. But we are moments away from first pitch here in Fulton. James Stanley with you here on the Blue Jays Sports Network. We'll go ahead and take a look at the lineup for the visiting Greenville Panthers, as Ryan Taylor will start us off at shortstop, followed by Adam Lamb batting second and playing in right field. Clayton Wolf, the third baseman, will bat third, followed by Sam Hodges in the fourth spot and playing first base. Andrew Torbeck in center field will bat fifth, with Ty Maxey, the second baseman, batting sixth. Parker Panic, the designated hitter, will bat seventh. Devin Gum, the catcher, will bat eighth, and Clarence Falls will be playing left field tonight and batting ninth for Greenville. So again, for the Panthers, that's Taylor, Lamb, Wolf, Hodges, Torbeck, Maxey, Panic, Gum, and Falls. That's who we'll see in the top of the first for Greenville. Now let's take a look at Westminster. First, the starting pitcher, Ian Cassidy, in start number 6, 3-0 on the year with a 2.18 earned run average, 33 innings under his belt on 29 hits, 12 runs, 8 of them earned on 8 walks and 32 strikeouts. Opponents hitting .238 against him on the season. Quite a good year for him so far, and head coach Dennis Hughes is extremely excited to see what he can bring out here on the mound tonight for the Westminster Blue Jays. Now let's take a look at Westminster's starting lineup. Zach Eisenreich will start in center field, hitting .347 on the year. Brandon Beeler, the catcher, hitting the cover off the ball right now, .423 average on the season, will be batting second. Ryan Clavin will play first base and bat third, followed by Hayden Hirschvogel, the third baseman, in the fourth spot. Will Stonecipher will play left field and bat fifth, coming off a 2-for-3 performance back on April 6th against Iowa Wesleyan University. Ryan Klimkowitz will bat sixth. He's the designated hitter, followed by Zach Stiles, the right fielder, batting seventh. Michael Skinner at second base, batting eighth, and Ethan Rackers, the shortstop, batting ninth. So again for Westminster, that's Eisenreich, Beeler, Clavin, Hirschvogel, Stonecipher, Klimkowitz, Stiles, Skinner, and Rackers. Guess all that leaves us now is the starting pitcher for Greenville University, Jonah Moore, also making his sixth start, 2-1 record on the year with a 5.06 earned run average, 26 and 2/3 innings under his belt so far, 27 hits, 15 runs, all 15 of them earned on 16 walks, 26 strikeouts, and opponents hitting .267 against him on the year. But we are here at Saucier Field in Fulton. The sun is out, and we're welcome to bring you baseball for the first time at home on a broadcast. So far on the year, we've had some bad luck with weather. And finally, the skies have opened up, and everything is looking good for baseball. In the high 70s, a little bit of wind will be blowing out from left to right field. And overall, just an absolute gorgeous day for baseball. Now, this is a doubleheader. Game 1 will be 7 innings. Game 2 will be slated for 9 innings unless Game 1 goes into extras. So there will be a walk-off opportunity in Game number 1 if they do go to 8. It's not like the game just flips over to 9. If that is the case, then Game number 2 will also be a 7-inning contest as well. But we'll keep you posted there, and we thank you for joining us here on the Blue Jays Sports Network. We're still running through some of the starting lineups, and we will hear from head coach Dennis Hughes here momentarily as we talk to him before the game and about how his crew is doing so far. With that, we will take a break here on Blue Jay Pregame Live and hear from head coach Dennis Hughes, the Central Missouri graduate, in his 9th year at the head. And actually check that, threw us for a loop here. They're going through the Blue Jays lineup now as Eisenreich will take his spot in center field. So we'll hold off for that momentarily. Don't want to give you all the good stuff quite yet.
Batting third, playing first base, number 29, Ryan Clavin. Batting fourth, at third base, number 17, Hayden Hirschvogel.
With that, we'll go ahead and set your defensive starters in left field, Stonecipher, center field, Eisenreich. With Stiles in right, Hirschvogel will play third base tonight with Rackers at shortstop, Skinner at second base, Clavin at first, Brandon Beeler behind the plate catching for Ian Cassidy again in his 6th start of the year.
Batting ninth, playing shortstop.
In case you're just now joining us, this is game 1 of a doubleheader slated tonight at Saucier Field on the beautiful campus of Westminster College. Now we'll get a chance to hear from head coach Dennis Hughes. And we'll take a break here on Blue Jay Pregame Live as we sat down with Dennis Hughes before the game and got his thoughts. Here with head coach Dennis Hughes ahead of today's matchup with Greenville University. Greenville comes in undefeated in SLEAC play. What's the game plan to finally knock them off this late into April?
Score more runs than they do. How about that? No, they've got a solid team. They won't beat themselves. So we just have to have a good approach at the plate. We've got a good pitcher going against us. Jonah Moore's done a good job against us in the past, and he's a quality pitcher, and we just have to make the plays behind our quality pitcher.
Brandon Beeler's been ripping the cover off the ball so far. What has been some of his keys for success so far this year?
Well, we have this thing we talk about sticking the front side, and he's not pulling out on stuff, so he's staying and he's got that approach middle out, and he's driving the ball oppo. And if you can do that, then those inside pitches you're able to turn on when you get a couple strikes on you. So he's got a plan when he gets to the plate.
You have a fairly young team here. What's been the game approach so far all season long?
Well, our approach is that we just have to take care of ourselves. You know, we have to pitch, we have to play defense, and we have to put the ball in play. And so that's what we're going to do. We're not going to worry too much about what they do. We're just going to take care of what we can do.
Ian Cassidy making his 6th start of the year. What can we expect to see out of him?
Well, we expect the same thing we've been getting out of him, nothing but excellent. And he's just been a mainstay for us, done an excellent job for us. And if he stays within himself, he ought to have another nice game tonight.
And then finally, keys for the game in this one.
Well, I think lack of mistakes. I think the team, because I think both teams are pretty much identical. They're mirror images of each other, and I think the team that makes the least amount of mistakes is going to be the team that's going to come out on top.
All right, thanks, Coach. Good luck today.
Thank you very much.
Again, that was head coach Dennis Hughes. As we are moments away from first pitch, the Westminster College Blue Jays donning the home whites with light blue accents, a navy blue Blue Jays across the front with a silver letter on the back, a dark blue letter. Greenville, meanwhile, will be in the all-road craze with a orange pipe down the side of their pants, a bright orange number on the back, and a black and orange accented block letters says Panthers across the chest. Your starting pitcher, Ian Cassidy, again in start number 6 on the year. Hails from Baldwin, Missouri, went to Parkway South High School, the Patriots, and started out at John Wood Community College, then transferred to Missouri Western State. Finally, last year came to Westminster College. He does have some Northwoods experience for the summer of 2017. Only got to appear in 4 games through 19 2/3 innings and gave up 24 hits on 8 strikeouts and 8 walks. Last year, Cassidy, second team all-conference SLEAC, 4.04 earned run average. And so far on the year, with a stifling 2.18 ERA against opponents, 3-0 on the year, 33 innings pitched, little less than a hit given up per inning, 29 hits, and opponents hitting 238 against him. This is the most exciting number, 8 walks to 32 strikeouts. So we're set for baseball. Our first pitch tips here at 5:03 on the dot. Cassidy, the righty, will face off against Ryan Taylor from the left side. Here's the first pitch, and it's a strike on the inside corner. Taylor on the year for Greenville, 26 hits for him, 3 doubles, 4 triples, and a homer. The 0-1 swung on a miss for strike 2, so Cassidy quickly out ahead after pulling the string on that off speed. Taylor, some good stats for a leadoff man, 299 average. The pitch right down the middle for strike 3. Taylor's caught out looking, and Cassidy off to a quick start. That'll bring up Adam Land, the right fielder, as he did play in the last game for Greenville, the 9-2 win back on April 6th against Principia, but he was the pitcher. He digs in from the number 2 spot tonight, 12 hits on 37 at-bats, no extra base variety hits at all. He Looks at the first pitch, a ball that's a bit outside, 1-0. Lamb has driven in 5 runners. That's kind of a hard thing to do with nobody on base, but see how Westminster combats him here up ahead or out behind. 1-0 on the pitch. Misses outside. Beeler with a good stop, but quickly a hitter's count for Lamb. This is Lamb's first look against Westminster College this season. Now the righty-righty matchup. As Cassidy takes the sign, finds one he likes with Beeler in the pitch. Off speed, misses just a bit outside again for ball 3. Cassidy does not offer a lot of walks, but a pitcher's count here quickly to Lamb. And the 3-0. Misses for ball 4, and that's a walk. 9th walk of the season for Cassidy. That'll put Lamb at first base with 1 down. Clayton Wolf, the third baseman, will now dig in from the right side. So the first 3 hitters, it was lefty, righty, righty. Take a look at the defense for for Westminster College, as William Woods is playing tonight across town at Owl Field. Hirschvogel at third base, Rackers at shortstop, Skinner at second, Clavin at first, and a pitch grooved in there for strike 1 to Clayton Wolf. Beeler is behind the plate. He makes up the battery with Ian Cassidy. Stone Cipher left field, Eisenreich in center, and Stiles in right. Check on the runner at first, nothing going. The count still sits 0-1. No shift on the infield, minus Clavin at first base, holding on Lamb. Pretty good crowd has shown up here at Saucier Field. The set and the pitch. Curveball right down the middle and sends us into an 0-2 count. Wolf, his last time out, went 1 for 3 with an RBI and a strikeout. Trying not to make it back-to-back games with a K. But he is down 0-2. Another check on the runner at first, no blood. Wolf as the number 3 hitter on this club, .324 average on the season. Gets on base quite a bit too, .409 OBP. The pitch. Misses high and a little tight for ball 1, so the count moves to 1 ball, 2 strikes. Wolf has a couple of home runs on the year. He's driven in 17. Third on the team in RBIs behind Torbeck and Hodges. Another check on the runner at first and nothing going. Top of the first, no score between Greenville and Westminster College. The sun is now peeking out behind some clouds and basks the entire field. Another throw over to first. Cassidy lost his footing and regained himself a bit there. Luckily not called for the balk, but still having some qualms about Lamb over at first base. Cassidy got out to a quick start on 3 pitches, rung up Ryan Taylor looking, then walked Lamb. That leads us to the 1-out game. Ground ball to shortstop. Rackers charges in behind him. Will make the strong throw to first base in time. Lamb does move up to second, but there are 2 away in the top first frame.
Number 37, Sam Hodges.
Sam Hodges will now take his cuts from the left side. The second left-handed hitter in the lineup so far for Greenville. Runner at second, 2 down, top of the first, no score. Infield making no effort now to hold on Lamb at second base. As Cassidy takes the sign from Beeler, now goes back to the stretch. Here's the motion from the belt. Fouled off on the first pitch. Cassidy listed as a utility player as well as a right-handed pitcher, although last year had only 5 at-bats and 1 hit. Made 11 starts last season through 6 complete games, already has a couple of those under his belt this year, and the 1-0 pitch, or the 0-1 I should say, moves us to 1-1. Lost the handle on that one, and Beeler had to jump up from his crouch to pull it down. Runner at second, 1-1 count, 2 down in the top of the first inning. Greenville up to play. Westminster coming up in the bottom half of the frame. The pitch. Another curveball, can't get any grip on the handle, maybe just to go look back at the rosin bag. So now the count runs 2-1. Cassidy appears not to be as comfortable from the stretch as he does from the windup so far. The pitch. Check swing. Did he go around? And the home plate umpire says so. So we're evened up at 2 balls and 2 strikes. 2 down, a strikeout and a ground out to short. So that's by Lamb, and he currently sits at second base. Cassidy from the set. Kicks and deals. Fastball high for ball 3, and the count is full. Hodges hitting .357 on the year. 6 doubles and a home run for him. Second in the team in RBI. Once more set. Hickson fires the payoff. Draw walks from Ian Cassidy. Now the fourth, he's playing center field. He is 0 of his last 5. 207 on first. Score, and it's 1 to the air for the first. Rackers would have been better off holding on to that ball. And instead, the throw allows Hodges to advance to third base, Lamb to come home, and Torbeck will sit safely at first, and the inning will continue. That'll bring up time. Hit for Torbeck, trying to pick up where he first. Throw over to Maxey, not a lot of games for Cassidy appears to be having some issues with grip. You can necessarily do about it except maybe get some rosin between pick-off attempt of here a second ago, and might as well bring it up with Cassidy as he transfers and zips the 2-0 pitch. Misses would or make their way to Fulton. That is Smith and Keith. Last couple 3 at the corners. One. That's ball 4 to low. Away from
Number 39.
He allowed so far this season. Came in with just 8 on the year. And now he's issued 3 walks here in the top of the first with Greenville leading 1-0. Parker Panic, 1 for 13 on the season. He digs in now from the left side, the number 7 hitter, and takes the first pitch strike. Still having a better year than Chris Jones of the Baltimore Orioles. His 1 hit was a double. This is his first game in about 4 or 5 days. The 0-1 misses just a bit outside for ball 1, and we're evened up at 1 apiece. No more room at the end. Runners at every corner and every bag. Cassidy on thin ice. And the pitch. Thought about biting on it, but laid off. It's in there for a strike anyways, and the count is 1-2. On the bright side, all these runs are unearned. Now Cassidy comes set, looking for the kill, the pitch. Inside corner, can't buy it. Count evens up 2-2. Top of the first in Fulton, 1-0 Greenville on top. Panthers on the road. This is game 1 of a doubleheader set for this, what feels like afternoon, but is considered a night game. We might have the lights into game 2. But game 1 is a 7-inning affair, and Game 2 will be the full 9 innings unless Game 1 goes into extras. But runners at every bag. 2 balls, 2 strikes on Parker Panic, the designated hitter. And the 2-2 misses outside for ball 3. Beeler, not much effort there to frame that one off the inside corner. He knew it was a little bit too wide to get the job done. So the count is full. And the payoff pitch. Runners go. Bit around on the pitch. Strike 3. 2 strikeouts in the inning for Ian Cassidy. Greenville sends 7 players to the plate, come away with 1 run on an error. They strand 3. And we will go to the bottom of the first in Fulton. 1-0 Greenville. We'll be right back. You're listening to Westminster College Baseball on the Blue Jays Sports Network. Welcome back to Westminster College, bottom of the first inning. Greenville, the Panthers lead the Blue Jays 1-0 through the first half frame. James Stanley back with you here from Fulton at Saucier Field. Zach Eisenreich will lead us off here in the top of the first, as we'll take a look at Jonah Moore into his 6th start of the year. 2-1, a 5.06 earned run average, 26 and 2/3 innings pitched for him. 27 hits, 15 runs, all 15 of them earned on 16 walks. 26 strikeouts, and opponents hitting .267 against him. Damage already done in the top of the first for Greenville. After 3 walks and an error, they score 1. We'll see if the Blue Jays can get the bats going in the bottom half of the first. First pitch to Zach Eisenreich. Misses outside for ball 1. Eisenreich comes in at 6'2", 265-pound junior from Blue Springs, Missouri. Wind up and the long motion by Moore. Catches the outside corner at the knees for strike 1. So the count is even at 1 ball, 1 strike. Eisenreich on the year hitting .347 and grounds one to second base. That's Maxey with the ball, throw to first in time for the first out on 3 pitches.
Number 2, Brandon Beeler.
Brandon Beeler, the catcher, a rare spot for a catcher at batting second. But he's been swinging a hot stick this year, hitting .423 on the season. These are Ted Williams-like numbers, .516 on base percentage. That's 1 out of every 2 times he's up to hit, he's getting on base. Half-hearted swing at the first pitch, it goes for a strike. Beeler coming off a 1-for-3 performance, hit his 2nd home run of the year, was a solo shot against Iowa Wesleyan back on April 6th. The pitch. Big bender in there for strike 2. Caught Beeler halfway between swinging and wanting to watch that one through. Beeler down 0-2. Moore into the windup and the 0-2. Missed outside for ball 1, good eye. Beeler originally started out at Central Methodist University. Did not play there his freshman year despite being on the roster, then transferred to Westminster College. Here he is in his 2nd season, his junior year, and takes the next pitch for a ball that evens the count at 2-2. It's one of 2 players in the lineup today to play for the Jefferson City Renegades, a summer collegiate wood bat team out of state capital. and takes ball 3 low. So the count runs full. What started out as a pitcher's count has worked to Beeler's advantage with the high knee socks. Wind up from Moore and the pitch. Ring him up, caught the outside corner. Beeler, frustrated, will sit back in the dugout for out number 2.
Number 29, Ryan Clavin.
Ryan Clavin, the sophomore, will come up to the plate now. He's playing first base with 2 down in the top of the first. Greenville leading 1-0. Take a look at the Panthers' defense. Falls in left field, Torbeck in center, Lamb in right. First pitch, Uncle Charlie in there for a strike. Wolf at third base, Taylor at shortstop, Maxey at second, Hodges at first. Gum makes up the battery with Jonah Moore. He's behind the plate. The 0-1 pitch, given a ride. Shallow right center field, and rather make that a little bit deep. Torbeck has to go back to the wall, and it's a home run for Ryan Clavin. Clavin touches them all. Followed around by the home plate umpire, make sure he touched every bag. Has his 4th home run of the year and ties us at 1-1.
Number 17, Hayden Hirschvogel.
That ball had a lot of spin on it. And Torbeck originally came in looking like he was going to play it shallow, but instead it just kept carrying with that spin and eventually right over the right center field wall to tie the game. So that's a good response for the Blue Jays. And it's a whole new game here in the bottom of the first inning, 1-1. That'll usher in Hayden Hirschvogel, the freshman infielder from Jefferson City. 1 out of his last 3. They take the first pitch for a strike and looks at the second one in the dirt for ball 1. Jonah Moore taking the sign and deals. Got him swinging out behind. And 1 more pitcher's count, but there are 2 down here in the bottom of the first inning, tied at 1 between Greenville and Westminster. The 1-2. Curveball, strike 3, 2 strikeouts in the inning for Moore. But a solo shot by Ryan Clavin, his 4th home run of the season. And that'll send us to the top of the second in Fulton, Missouri. We'll be right back. You're listening to Westminster College Baseball on the Blue Jays Sports Network.
Like a shooting star, so I grabbed a beer and
8-9 hitters due up for Greenville University into the top of the second. James Stanley back with you here on the Blue Jays Sports Network. Blue Jays gave up a run on 3 walks and an error back in the first inning, but Ryan Clavin right on cue, the reigning SLIAC hitter of the week, responds with a home run to right center field to tie us at 1, and here we are in the top of the second. Cassidy now with a little bit of swagger in his step, gets a first pitch strike on Devin Gum. Gum, a .333 hitter on the year. Swings and misses at the 0-2. To make that the 0-1, and now the count is 0-2. Cassidy gets on the same page with Beeler, winds, and the 0-2. Just a bit inside, dropped it anyways, and that's the first ball to count. Gum, a freshman from San Diego, California. Played at Torrey Pines High School. Comes in at 5'10", 185-pounder. Wind up, here's the 1-2 offering. Low in the dirt, we're evened at 2-2. Gum has 3 extra base hits on the year, all of them doubles. And with a lot of room in right center, we'll make that in right field dead away. Got Eisenreich playing the shift to left and looking for him to go oppo. The 2-2. Misses inside for ball 3, and Cassidy's control issues continue. He walked 3 batters in the first inning, and there's really not good defense for walks. Payoff pitch. Ball 4. And a leadoff walk for Devin Gum.
Number 14, Clarence Falls.
So Cassidy will already have to go back into the stretch, and that'll bring up Clarence Falls, the left fielder. Falls caps out the lineup. After this, we'll roll it back up to the top of the order, and Ryan Taylor at shortstop. Currently sits in the on-deck circle. Cassidy set from the belt. Deals the first pitch just a bit low for ball 1. Wanted that strike, pled with his eyes, but can't get the home plate umpire to ring it around. Got to give him something a little better to look at. Falls went hitless in his last time out. It was against Principia back on April 6th. 0 for 2 in that one, however, did come around to score a run after stealing a base. The pitch. Bunt laid down the first base line and out of play, so that's how the first strike will be recorded on the board, and the count evens up at 1-1. Falls batting .275 so far through the first 24 games for Greenville. Blue Jays have only been able to get 15 games in, so if that says anything about the weather, how crazy it's been here in mid-Missouri, I think that sums it up pretty well. Runner at first, tie game, top of the second, and the 1-1 pitch misses up and away for ball 2. Falls has driven in 8 runs on the year, but still with this shift to the left side, you got Stonecipher playing the line and Eisenreich in center, leaving a large room in the right center field gap. The 2-1 misses inside for ball 3. Throw down to first, but nothing going, and Clarence Falls has a hitter's count.
Here we go, Blue Jays. Let's get it out.
See some teamwork there over at first base. That's Clavin trying to get the bag adjusted back properly. The Gum standing on it. Gum has a healthy lead at first. Cassidy continues to check on him. Throw over to first. Just under the tag, and Cassidy will have to try again. Wind continues to ripple here at Saucier Field. And that pitch sent into the jet stream left field. Towering high, Stonecipher at the warning track makes the catch for out number 1. Interesting look there, if I had to guess off the bat which of those 2 fly balls between Clavin's bomb to right center field or that one, I would have guessed that Clarence Falls just hit his first extra base hit of the season over the left field wall, but that one wasn't out, and Clavin's hit back in the bottom of the first was a home run. Back up to the top of the order, it's Ryan Taylor. He's 0 for 1 on the afternoon. Got struck out looking as the first out of the game. 1 down, tie ball game, 1-1. Greenville and Westminster on tap. First pitch, a curveball, a beauty, and Taylor buckled the knees, didn't even swipe at it for strike one. Taylor, another California kid, and he hits this one deep and hard on a line down to the right field corner, picked up by Stiles. Digging for second, here's the throw. Taylor is safe at second base underneath the tag. That'll move Gum to third, and the first hit of the day for Greenville comes with one down in the top of the second.
Number 12, Adam Lamb.
So now runners in scoring position for Adam Lamb, and a chance here for Greenville to do some damage. So far, the run back in the first inning will be unearned for Cassidy, but he's dangerously close for giving up a couple runs here. With Lamb calling time, and he'll step back out and then dig back into the right-handed hitter's batting box. Fourth double of the season for Taylor, and Lamb looks at the first pitch way outside for ball one. Now after that pitch given a ride down to the right field corner for Taylor, now you see Eisenreich moving back towards center field, and as well Stiles moves a little bit closer to the right field corner. 1 ball, no strikes. Line drive to center field. Eisenreich charges in, makes the catch, and everyone will stay put. Good defensive play for Eisenreich. Get that ball back in quickly, and there's 2 down in the top of the second inning. Still tied 1-1.
Number 44, Clayton Wolf.
Clayton Wolf is 0 for 1 on the day. Grounded out to shortstop in the first inning for the second out.
Go, come get him.
Now has 1 hit in his last 4 at-bats, but looking for back-to-back games with RBIs. Runners in scoring position with 2 down. Gum at third base. He lit off the game with the walk, and Ryan Taylor laced the ball down to the right field corner for a 1-out double. First pitch strike catches the upper third of the zone outside corner. 0-1 the count on Clayton Wolf. Wolf bending the knees, slightly open stance, and the pitch. Popped him up. The aluminum rings, it's into right field. Stiles called off by Eisenreich. He puts it in his pocket for out number 3, and that's how the second inning ends. So Greenville knocks on the door. They strand runners at second and third. We go to the bottom of the second inning. Back in Fulton. We'll be right back. You're listening to Westminster College Baseball on the Blue Jays Sports Network.
Leading off for the Blue Jays, number 27, Will Stonecipher.
Will Stonecipher, Ryan Klimkowitz, and Zach Stiles, the 5, 6, 7 hitters, all due up for Westminster College here in the bottom of the second inning. James Stanley back with you here on the Blue Jays Sports Network. Tied at 1 so far through the first 1.5 frames. And in case you're just now joining us, Greenville struck first, and a ground ball that hits off a home plate and dips foul for strike 2. Or actually make that strike 1. The count evens up 1-1 on Stonecipher. But Greenville struck first, drew 3 walks in the first inning, and came around on Ethan Racker's error to score 1. And in the bottom of the first, Ryan Clavin hit his 4th home run of the season to right center. But back to business here in the bottom of the second. Jonah Moore back out for his second frame. It's a very methodical windup and gets the pitch blown by for strike 2 for Stonecipher. He sits with a 1-2 count. Stonecipher awaits, and the 1-2 fouled away. Pretty good crowd of Blue Jays faithful out at the yard today. And the pitch in the dirt. Count evens up 2-2. Stonecipher, a multi-sport athlete at Lafayette High School out of Wildwood, Missouri. Here's the 2-2 pitch. Catches on the outside corner. 3 strikeouts on the night for Jonah Moore.
Number 6, Ryan.
And he gets Stonecipher looking. That'll bring up Ryan Klimkowitz, the senior and former SLIAC Academic All-Conference.
Go Sixer.
Klimkowitz, a .333 hitter on the season with 1 down. Bottom of the second, and the score tied 1-1. Klimkowitz's average continues to get better each season he plays with Westminster. His freshman year, .256. A little bit of a sophomore slump, if you will. He lost 2 points off his average his sophomore year, .254, and then last year hit .288. Has quickly worked the count ahead, 3-0. Jonah Moore can't seem to locate. Three balls, no strikes. Moore winds and deals. At the knees, outside corner, strike 1. A little bit of movement on that one, just tailed over the black, good enough for a strike, and that'll bring up the 3-1. Pop fly, that's into right field. Lamb moves to his left toward the line and puts the catch away on the run for out number 2.
Number 1, Zach Stiles.
So here comes Zach Stiles with 2 away. Although it's not a huge feat just through the first 2 innings, but so far both pitchers have a 1-hitter going. The Blue Jays have not been able to get a base runner except for Ryan Clavin's home run. First pitch, a big rip from Stiles, and out behind that one, Jonah Moore will readjust, already with 3 Ks on the night. Wind up, and the 0-1. Fly ball. It's into right center field. Torbeck, the center fielder, on to make the catch for out number 3. So Westminster College goes down on a strikeout, a fly out to right, and a fly out to center. 1, 2, 3, down go the Blue Jays. No runs, no hits, no errors, nobody left on, and we'll take the 1-1 ball game into the top of the 3rd. We'll be right back. You're listening to Westminster College Baseball on the Blue Jays Sports Network. Ian Cassidy finishing up his warm-up pitches into the top of the third. We go tied at 1 between Greenville and Westminster College. Like I've woken you back to, Stanley with you here on the 4-5. And so far, in the middle, Cassidy as well back in the first. Curveball for strike one, and the count evens up. Cassidy with the windup and the pitch. Misses out and away for ball two. During his warm-ups, Cassidy has a high leg kick that we don't see very often into his regular motion. As we've now paid attention a little bit more to his motion and his pitches, he varies it just a little bit each time. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Cassidy winds. No leg kick this time, and foul behind us. We are set up outside of the press box, so first situation I've dealt with in quite a while. Here's a moonshot to right center field, or right field, I should say. Stiles will watch this one over the wall. And it's Sam Hodges' second home run of the year. Leadoff home run here in the third, and Greenville retakes the lead 2-1. Talk about working on your directional hitting. I got to work on my directions.
Number 6, Andrew Torbeck.
Andrew Torbeck will come up to hit over one of the day. Reached on an error his last time up. That ended up producing the first run of the game. As Greenville now leads at 2-1. Torbeck takes the first pitch for a strike. Wind up, here's the 0-1. Just a bit outside, and the count evens with 1 ball and a strike. That's the second home run given up by Cassidy all season long. 1-1 pitch, curveball that bends below the zone, just above the shoe tops for ball 2. Opponents may only be hitting .238 against him, but here's the 2-1 pitch. Ground ball to shortstop. Rather picked up by Hirschvogel at third, on to first. In time for out number 1. We'll touch on what we were talking about there a second ago as Ty Maxey will come back up to hit, the number 6 hitter for Greenville. But Carter Woodiel, your broadcaster last year for Westminster College baseball, said they should really look at slugging percentage, what a pitcher gives up, and there's not a lot of places that tally that. Because let's say a pitcher gives up, well, for example, with Cassidy, a .238 opponent's batting average, but what if all those hits are home runs? Looks a lot different with the ERA than just a bunch of singles. Cassidy works out behind, evens the count up at 1-1, and Ty Maxey slices the ball just a little bit for a foul tip strike. One ball, 1 strike, top of the third. Greenville leads at 2-1. And the curveball in there buckles the knees, strike 2. Maxey drew a walk back in the first inning. The wind continues to blow a little bit, swirling around in the bowl, but got him swinging. Outside pitch. Third strikeout of the day for Cassidy, and there's 2 down after the leadoff home run. So Parker Panich, as we'll now call his name instead of Panic, is 0 for 1 of the day, struck out looking his last time up. That was to end the first inning. Cassidy is out ahead, 1-0. Coming off an 11 strikeout performance against Iowa Wesleyan. few days ago. Doubled it, gets over the head. Panich might go for 3, but he stands up at second base with his second hit of the year. It is a double over Eisenreich's head at center field with 2 down.
There's no number out there. I know.
Number 10, Devin Gum.
Devin Gum, the catcher, will be ushered back in to hit for his second time. He hit back in the second inning and drew a walk, so he now becomes one of 4 batters to hit in back-to-back innings for Greenville in this game. 2-1 your score, top of the third with 2 away. Parker Panich at second base after the 2-out double. Sam Hodges led off the inning on a 3-pitch at bat. Telegraphed a ball over the right field wall to put Greenville back up by 1. Then Torbeck and Maxey were both recorded out via a ground out to third base and a strikeout. Parker Panich then doubled to center field. That brings us up to date for Devin Gum.
Nice.
Gum looks at the first pitch, a strike. Gum has 3 doubles on the season. Picks up all of his extra base hits, hitting a hair below .333. Cassidy set from the belt. Checks the runner, stares him down rather, now deals home. But time was called, so that one won't count. The pitch would have been a ball anyway, so that's to Cassidy's advantage. Runner at second, 2 away. Top of the third inning, Greenville leads at 2-1. Blue Jays 1 out away from hitting in the bottom of the third. Popped him up third base side. Hirschvogel drops the ball. Had a chance to make the catch. And another 2-out error for the Blue Jays will put runners at the corners here in the top of the third. Panich moves over to third base. Gum now at first.
Number 14, Clarence Falls.
And Clarence Falls will come in to hit.
Go 1 or 2.
Falls is 0 for 1 on the day. He flew out to left field in his first at bat. A ball that he hit up into the jet stream, but with that wind swirling around, seems to be coming from different directions. Here at home plate and behind home plate, appears to be coming out of left field, and now he gives this one a ride. Right center field gap, Eisenreich on his horse, and it's over the wall. A 3-run home run. The first home run of the season for Clarence Falls. And Greenville busts this one open on 2 home runs on the inning. They lead at 5-1 with 2 down.
Number 2, Ryan Taylor.
So after the bases clearing 3-run dinger for Falls, 5-1 your score. As the first pitch fouled into the dirt for Ryan Taylor, the leadoff hitter. That really makes that Hirschvogel error sting. I'm not exactly sure what he was battling. The sun is behind him. Maybe the ball just had a lot of spin on it off the bat, but Cassidy out ahead quickly, 0-2 on the leadoff hitter Ryan Taylor, who's 1 for 2 on the afternoon. Cassidy waves off a couple of signs. Now time is called at home plate. Talking a little bit about that wind, seems to be blowing in from the right side of the diamond, then you look out toward the right center field tarps on the fencing, appears to be blowing out toward left center field, so the wind can't seem to make up its mind. 1 ball, 2 strikes the count, with Greenville leading 5-1. Line drive, that's back up the middle into center field. Taylor now has a 2-hit day. He's a triple and a home run away from the cycle. And Adam Lamb will come back up to hit for the 3rd consecutive inning.
Go 1 or 2.
4th hit of the inning for Greenville and 5th of the day. Cassidy looks to rebound. The pitch. Takes the pitch for a strike on the outside corner for Lamb. On the bright side for Cassidy, you've only given up 1 earned run so far in the day, so your ERA not completely destroyed, but your team has got to get the bats rolling, maybe take advantage of a 4-out inning like Greenville has here in the top of the 3rd. 2 down, runner at first base. Adam Lamb at the plate, another pickoff attempt and nothing going. Clavin tried a hit and ball trick. And Cassidy not giving up on Ryan Taylor. Taylor is 8 for 9 in stolen bases on the season, and they've yet to, Greenville has yet to attempt a stolen base on Brandon Beeler, has an awfully good pop time behind the plate. He played for the Jefferson City Renegades, was one of the fastest arms on the team, throwing out runners. The 0-1 pitch out behind for strike 2. Adam Lamb is down to his final bullet here in his at-bat. Five to 1 your score, top of the 3rd.
Go, one more.
Runner at first base. Cassidy from the stretch and 2 away. The pitch. Fastball high for ball 1. Lamb hitting .324 coming into today's games. And again, we do have a second game coming up, so lots of baseball for you here tonight. And the curveball misses just a bit inside for ball 2. Infielders playing back except for Clavin at first. He holds on Taylor, the runner. Lamb sits patiently, evens the count. Fouled off, and he's staying alive. Greenville 1 batter away from batting around in this inning. Start out with the number 4 hitter Sam Hodges and the solo shot to right field. Now they're back up to the number 2 hitter Adam Lamb. 2 home runs in the frame for Greenville. The pitch. Curveball just misses. The crowd wants that one. And the crowd, or should say the count moves full. 3 balls, 2 strikes. Runner at first, 2 down. And Greenville leading 5 to 1. Struck for 4 runs. And another pickoff attempt at first base. Clavin thought he got the tag on Taylor, but no go. That's our call, and it appears that Westminster College being issued a bench warning for arguing balls and strikes. Home plate umpire takes out his little black book. That's one date book you don't want your name in. 3 balls, 2 strikes, 2 down. Feel like we've been here before. Cassidy set now, takes a look at the runner. Deals home, the runner goes. Popped foul. And that ball belongs to the creek. So if you're Cassidy, you can't throw a pitch out to try to get Taylor. Taylor's going to be running since he's not even being held on now. As Cassidy set, now steps off the rubber. Blue Jays down by 4 here in the top of the 3rd. Cassidy set, and the pitch. Runner goes. Ground ball foul down the third base line. Lamb is getting his money's worth out of this at bat. It's at least 6 pitches now. you want to count the throws over to first base by Cassidy, you could make an argument he's nearly up to 10 pitches on the at-bat. Lamb sits from the right-hand hitter's batting, right-hand batter's box. Runner goes once more. Ground ball to third base. Picked up by Hirschvogel. Throw to first. In the dirt, but a clean pick out of the dirt for Clavin. And that is how the top third ends. Greenville strikes for 4 runs on 2 homers and error, and they lead at 5-1 into the bottom of the third we go. We'll be right back. You're listening to Westminster College Baseball on the Blue Jays Sports Network.
For the Blue Jays, number 13, Michael Skinner.
The 8-9 one-hitters are up for Westminster here in the bottom of the third inning. James Stanley back with you here on the Blue Jays Sports Network. That was a long top of the third for Ian Cassidy and company. Giving up 4 runs on 2 homers, 4 hits total, and an error. So errors have not been the friend of Westminster so far. Out of the 5 runs surrendered by Cassidy, he's only had 1 earned run. But Skinner and Rackers do up, the only 2 Blue Jays to yet hit against Jonah Moore, who now has 30 pitches on the game. He has also worked the count 2-0 to Skinner, the second baseman. Skinner, another freshman on starting lineup today. Ethan Rackers behind him in the 9th spot, also a freshman. Skinner, one of 3 former Jefferson City Jays on the roster. The others are Buys and Hirschvogel. But he slaps the 2-0 pitch for a foul ball strike. I'd rather make that the 2-1, so we're evened up at 2-2. Blue Jays have been set down 4 in a row back to the first inning. Moore deals. Curveball misses way outside. The count runs full. Skinner back on April 6th. That was Saturday. Here's the payoff pitch. Ring him up, down at the knees. Skinner goes down.
Are you struggling a little bit? Don't go over there looking for something. Just call the game.
Number 4, Ethan Rackers.
But Skinner picked up his first double of his first extra base hit as a Blue Jay his last time out. Ethan Rackers will come up to hit with now 4 strikeouts under Jonah Moore's belt. Bottom of the third, by the way, 5-1 your score in favor of Greenville. Rackers, a local product from Blair Oaks High School. Offers at the 1-0 pitch, but can't connect, and evens the count at 1-1. Again, he did play with the Jefferson City Renegades this summer, went 2 for 13 there. 1-1 pitch is low in the dirt for ball 2. He's the 3rd overall Blue Jay to play for the Renegades. Brandon Beeler and Mason Price, if that's a name that sounds familiar from a couple seasons ago. He graduated 2017, both played for the Renegades in their inaugural season. Rackers, those only 2 hits last summer for Jeff City came against the Jefferson City Legends. when he went 2 for 4. Swings and misses at the 3-1 pitch, and the count runs full. Rackers originally committed to Quincy University, then changed his mind and came here to Westminster. The pitch, line drive back up the middle, and Rackers has his 4th hit of the year.
Number 8, Zach Eisenreich.
So Rackers sits at first, the 1-out rally. That's only the 2nd hit of the game for Westminster. Eisenreich is 0 for 1 with a ground out to second base back in the 1st. Eisenreich from good baseball stock. His dad, Jim Eisenreich, played with the Kansas City Royals back in the 90s. Bunt attempt laid down in front of Moore. Throw to first. Not in time. Eisenreich with the sneaky bunt for a base hit, and the Owls, or rather should say the Blue Jays, have runners at 1st and 2nd. With now Brandon Beeler coming up to hit. Only 1 down in the inning so far. They're down 5-1. Eisenreich just a junior, but has a lot to look forward to in his senior year. Hitting .423 on the season. First pitch, a fastball that goes low for ball 1. Looking to do some damage here, has 11 RBIs on the season with 2 homers. It's out ahead 1-0, the pitch from Moore, and timeout called at home plate. So Beeler will have to step back and get ready for the 1-0 pitch. Beeler, a 2015 Missouri All-State catcher for Kirksville High School. Again with the high knee socks of light blue, navy blue, and white. Like the look. 1-0. Thought about going around, but laid off, and the count is 2 balls, no strikes. Talk about his pop time at 1.98. Mentioned that earlier. That's just a little under 2 seconds, so not a lot of runners will try to go on him. Moore back from the stretch, kicks from the belt. Fly ball, and out of play for strike 1. Was 3rd team SLIAC last year after playing in 35 games. And for a catcher, he has a lot of speed. Comes in at 5'7", 180 pounds, but knows how to get a good jump. He went 6 for 6 in stolen bases. The 2-1. In there for strike 2, and the count evens up. 2 balls, 2 strikes, a throw down to second, but Racker is back in there in time. So 1 away here in the bottom of the 3rd inning. Greenville leading Westminster College 5-1. Beeler looking for that opposite field approach. A lot of room in right center field. Moore set, and the 2-2. Got him swinging. Strikeout number 5 on the outing for Jonah Moore. That's Beeler's 2nd strikeout of the game, and the Blue Jays are down to their final out here in the 3rd frame. Ryan Calvin had a home run in his last at bat, a solo shot to right center field. It looks like we got the feed from the WNBA draft. I'm sure someone's keeping tabs on Sophie Cunningham right now if that is indeed going on tonight. But Sophie Cunningham, the all-star player from the University of Missouri women's basketball program. Arguably, between the men's and women's programs, possibly the best player of all time to ever attend the University of Missouri. But back to baseball. The count is 0-2 on Ryan Clavin. Clavin hitting .389 on the season.
RBIs, here we go.
With runners at first and second. Set and the pitch. Inside, nearly caught the jersey of Clavin, and he sits on it, so the count runs 1-2. Clavin has 15 hits on the season and back-to-back games with a home run. Grabbed the brim of his helmet a second, then called for time. He'll readjust his batting gloves and dig back in from the left side. Moore has given up 3 hits, 2 hits so far in the inning. Moore set and the pitch. Clavin ground ball softly to first base. Hodges has to pick it up, and they call that a foul ball at home plate. So the count will sit and still at 1-2. Runners at first and second. That's Rackers at second base, Eisenreich at first. Clavin at the dish. 1 for 1 with a home run so far in this one. Moore comes set. Looks at the runner, then comes home. Clavin thought about going around and kept his bat. They appeal out to second base, umpire, and no go, so the count will sit 2 balls, 2 strikes. Deuces are wild. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs, with runners at first and second in the bottom of the third inning, and the Blue Jays down by 4. Clavin would love to have a 2-home run game here. A home run here would bring the Blue Jays back within just 1 run. Clavin awaits. The number 3 hitter in this lineup, and the 2-2. Fouled away.
You're on it. Here we go.
Let's go, Ryan. RBI time right here now. Let's go.
Rackers and Eisenreich both singled in between the outs. Michael Skinner led off the inning with a strikeout looking, and then Brandon Beeler struck out swinging for out number 2. The 2-2 pitch once more. In the dirt, ball 3. That gets behind Gum. Rackers moves over to third base, and Eisenreich into second. So now a baseball with eyes back into center field could score 2. We'll see what Clavin's able to do here as he continues his same motions of tightening and retightening his batting gloves. Moore came into the inning with 28 pitches, and I think it's safe to say he's brought that total quite up a bit more. This third inning seems to be the longest one so far. Either Moore can't decide on the same pitch with Gum, or Clavin at this at bat just wants to take his time. The payoff pitch. Drop third strike. Clavin runs down to first. Here's the throw. It's off the bag. And out at first.
He was off the bag. Oh, my Lord. No,
Well, despite the fans wanting a different call, I believe the home plate umpire made the right one. It looked like Hodges did tap the toe just slightly before Clavin was able to get back down to first base. Gum, a gift there, almost gave the ball away and almost had more baseball here in the third inning. But we go to the top of the fourth, 5-1 in favor of Greenville College. And we'll be right back. You're listening to Westminster College Baseball on the Blue Jays Sports Network.
the Panthers, number 44, Clayton Wolf.
Welcome back to Saucier Field in Fulton, Missouri. James Stanley with you here on the Blue Jays Sports Network. It's 5-1 Greenville into the top of the fourth inning. Clayton Wolf, Sam Hodges, and Andrew Torbeck all due up for the Panthers, the 3, 4, 5 hitters. Anybody gets on will see Ty Maxey. Clayton Wolf 0 for 2. As he gives this one a ride, right center field. And over the wall, another home run for Greenville. Wolf's third home run of the season. That's back-to-back innings for the Panthers with leadoff dingers. And the score sits 6-1 Greenville. So the last player to hit a leadoff home run is now up to hit, and that's Sam Hodges. Hodges, the lefty, looks first pitch curveball for strike one. Cassidy winds and deals. Catches the outside corner for strike two. And the 0-2 pitch. Ground ball to first base. Charging on, big first baseman's mitt comes in handy there for Clavin. Steps on the bag for out number one.
Number 6, Andrew Torbeck.
So Andrew Torbeck is 0 for 2 on the outing. Grounded out to shortstop, or should say, allowed Ethan Rackers to commit that inning extending error back in the first inning that allowed the first run of the game to score. Then grounded out to third base his last time up. Popped him up on the first pitch. Clavin has a beat on it at first base and uses two hands to put the ball away for out number two. So quickly after the leadoff home run, it's back-to-back outs. And Ty Maxey
6, Ty Maxey.
comes up to hit. He's 0 for 1 with a walk and a strikeout. So far, we've seen 4 home runs in this game and 2 doubles. 3 homers by Greenville, just 1 by Westminster College. Cassidy deals the 1-0 pitch. Ground ball to third base. Bad hop on the infield. Hirschvogel has it, throw to first, right to the glove. In time, out number 3. Top of the fourth is over. 1 run. It was on a solo shot by Clayton Wolf, his 3rd home run of the season. After that, it's 1, 2, 3, and the Greenville Panthers go down in order. They extend the lead 6-1. Into the bottom of the fourth we go. We'll be right back. You're listening to Westminster Baseball on the Blue Jays Sports Network. Here in the bottom of the fourth inning. James Stanley back with you here to 1. Take a look through the first 3. The bottom, or should say top of 3 walks back in the first inning And Westminster had a solo shot for Ryan Clavin.
Go, baby, go!
Right, but Lamb is there to make the catch. For Greenville, put them up 5-1. Run surrendered, only earned. Then meanwhile, you could top half of this frame and another, so that should catch you up to speed. Fly ball to right center field. Stone Cipher puts this one at the wall.
Number 6, Ryan Klimkowitz.
Klimkowitz. Conference will hit. Pitch a fastball low. It's one of his last.
Let's go, guys. 3 quick outs here. Let's go.
Parker Panich, Devin Gum, and Clarence Falls due up for the Greenville Panthers here in the top of the 5th inning. James Stanley back with you here
We go 1-5.
from Saucier Field in Fulton. It's been a good one so far, but lopsided toward the Panthers' favor. Cassidy fell behind on the 1-0 pitch, and now grooves the next pitch in there for strike one. Panich had a double, a 2-out double that is, back in the 3rd inning that extended the inning. Then was later driven in on a 3-run bomb by Clarence Falls, his first home run of the season. Panich has 2 hits on the year, both of them are doubles. And looks at the 1-2 offering outside for ball 2. 6-1 Greenville through 4 innings. Again, this first game will just be 7 innings. And game 2 will be the full regulation 9 unless we do get extras here. But as of right now, it's not looking that way for Westminster College unless they get the bats going.
Right here.
3 balls, 2 strikes. Cassidy winds and deals.
Nice.
Outside corner at the knees. Punch him out. Panich strikes out for the 2nd time tonight. And that's 4 strikeouts for Ian Cassidy. Devin Gum is 0 for 1. He walked back in the 2nd, then was stranded at 3rd base. And back in the 3rd inning, reached on an error to 3rd base. Came around to score again on that 3-run home run by the man in the on-deck circle, Clarence Falls.
Ready to get ahead. Here we go.
Hance awaits the pitch. Out behind, and he's down in a pitcher's count, no balls and 2 strikes. Gum, 11 hits on the season. As Cassidy winds, and the 0-2. Thought about going around, laid off it, and the pitch misses to move the count 1-2. Gum bats left and throws right. The 1-2 pitch. Curveball again high.
Hey, keep working. Keep working.
Cassidy has retired the last 4 hitters in a row, going back to Sam Hodges. Wants to continue that trend here to the bottom of the order. Swing and a miss, strike 3.
Good work.
Pulled the string on the curveball, and it's back-to-back strikeouts, 2 down here in the top of the 5th.
Clarence Falls.
Let's go now, Ian.
So with Greenville leading by 5 runs, Clarence Falls 1 for 2 on the day, part of that separating offense so far for Greenville. Had a 3-run home run his last time up in the 3rd. Cassidy reaches back for a little extra speed on that one, and it's fouled off. For Falls, he's hit the ball very well twice. In addition to that home run, he flew out to left field back in the 2nd. A sky-high out recorded for Stone Cipher. Out behind that pitch. And Falls is down 0-2. Had Falls gotten a little more launch angle on that pitch back in the 2nd, he might have a 2-home-run day, but now lays off the 0-2 pitch, and the count runs with 1 ball and 2 strikes.
Go, Ian.
Choking up on the bat now, and this pitcher's count, Cassidy waves off a couple of signs. Now back into the windup. Off the end of the bat. Ground ball to second base. Skinner can't come up with it. I think we'll go ahead and give him a hit on that one. Really, that was not off the end of the bat. That was jammed inside, and the way Falls was able to choke up on the bat a little bit, that gave him an opportunity to muscle that ball back up the middle. But another 2-out single for Greenville, and that'll bring up Ryan Taylor, 2 for 3 on the day with a double and a single. We are back up to the top of the order, so Taylor the leadoff man. Hitting above 300 now on the year with his 2-hit day. Out behind the first pitch, a changeup for strike 1. Cassidy now has 37 Ks on the season. Runner at first base, it's Falls with 2 away in the pitch. Beeler can't frame that one back out over the black, so the count will move 1-1. Falls now has a 2-hit day after going 0 for 2 his last time starting. That was against Principia back on April 6th. Check the runner at first, nothing going.
I know.
The sun continues to dip down almost. Well, that would not make a lot of sense. 6 inches above the horizon. That could mean a lot of things. Instead, back to baseball, 2-1 the count.
Here we go, Ian.
Panich and Gum struck out back-to-back to start out the inning, and Cassidy was looking for his first clean frame, but Clarence Falls said not this time and got that 2-out single. Pickoff attempt at first awfully close, but falls back to the bag in time. Falls a pretty healthy lead, yet so far today no one's attempted to steal on Brandon Beeler, and once again back underneath the tag. Cassidy just can't buy that out at first base. 2 balls and a strike, 2 away. With Ryan Taylor at the plate, runner goes. Beeler throw down to second base, right on the money. Here's the tag, and he got him. Brandon Beeler catches Clarence Falls red-handed, and the inning ends on a caught stealing. We go to the bottom of the 5th, 6-1 Greenville leads, and we'll be right back. You're listening to Westminster Baseball on the Blue Jays Sports Network. Welcome back to Fulton, Missouri. The 7-8-9 hitters due up for Westminster in the bottom of the fifth. Greenville leads at 6-1. Now we have back-to-back frames with goose eggs. But Zach Stiles up for the second time against Jonah Moore, and we're 3 batters away from getting through the third time through the lineup. Stiles is 0 for 1. He gave a ball a ride to center field his last time up. Here's the 2-1. Ground ball to shortstop. Taylor bobbles the ball, and Stiles is safe. On the first error of the afternoon on Greenville. So we've talked about the errors being a problem for Greenville so far in the, or I should say for Westminster on the game. Only 2 out of the 6 runs are officially earned to Ian Cassidy. So if the Owls, there we did it again, if the Blue Jays can figure out a way to capitalize on some of these 4-out innings, if you will, then they might be able to climb back into the driver's seat down by 5. But now they're down to their final 9 outs of the game, with Michael Skinner at the plate. He struck out looking his last time up. One ball, no strikes, and the pitch. Misses a bit outside, or should say it's in there for strike 1. Perfect Game Baseball did a report on Skinner back in 2016. Talked about his good fundamentals in the field, and at second base, here's a throw down to first from Gum to Hodges, but Stiles back in there. What they talked about his hitting was that he shifts his weight well into the swing, or into his swing at the plate, and has a high average approach. And so far as a 2016, said he was a well-schooled young player, just needs to get stronger. And 5'10", 175 pounds, he could put a little more meat on the bones. 2-1. Foul back for strike 2.
All right, you're on it. Here we go. Stay right in there, bud. Stay right
Some of the parents calling him skinny, and guess that's not only his nickname, but also talk about needing to put a little more meat on the bones. Well, you got it there. But hitting .320 on the season, so personally I'm a fan of high average hitting baseball, not of the home runs and such, but he gains a little bit of muscle mass and can get the ball up into the jet stream, while he might have few more extra base hits, just minus the 1 double on the season. But all in all, he is just a freshman starting at the D3 level, so cut him a little bit of slack. Popped up the pitch into foul territory, and I don't think that one ever came down. Count is still full, 3-2. You can see Skinner there choking up on the bat and trying to take this 2-strike approach, choking up just a little bit. Saw the same thing by Falls last time Greenville was up, and he came away with a 2-out hit. The pitch. Ground ball to third base, charging in. Wolf has to throw off balance to first in time for out number 1.
Now batting number 4, Ethan Racker.
It's really nothing prettier than watching the third baseman charge in to make a good throw to first, and with 1 down, that'll bring up Ethan Rackers. He's 1 for 1 on the day. Picked up his 4th hit of the season back in the 3rd inning. And with another base hit, he could potentially bring in Stiles, who sits in scoring position. 6-1 your score, bottom of the 5th, 1 out. Rackers looks at the first pitch, a fastball outside. Here's the 1-0 in the dirt for ball 2. And again, if you're a University of Missouri women's basketball fan, we do have some fans monitoring the 2019 WNBA draft. See where Sophie Cunningham falls. But back to baseball, 2-0 the count. The pitch to Rackers. This is up and away for ball 3. Rackers, 3 balls, no strikes. Runner at second with 1 away in the bottom of the 5th. Jonah Moore comes set and deals. Ball 4. So a 1-out walk. It's Ducks on the pond, first and second. Now back up top of the order for Zach Eisenreich. Eisenreich last time up, hit a ball back where it came from, right back up the middle. And now it appears that we might have a pitching change, at the very least a meeting at the mound, which the bullpen gate in right field is open for Greenville. We'll see what Lynn Carlson goes with. Our home plate umpire has his little black book out ready to make note of who's coming in, and this meeting at the mound taking an awfully long time. So I believe they're talking about strategy here with runners at first and second, only 1 down, maybe how to turn 2. You're also back up top of the order. You're getting a third look at Moore. And it looks like Moore will be left in there in the frying pan. Stiles at second, Rackers at first, and Eisenreich at the plate. Only 5 RBIs for him on the season, but he has a chance to add on that total. In the bottom of the 5th with 1 down, and the Blue Jays trailing 6-1. Moore comes set from the belt and deals. In the dirt, fastball 1-0. This might be Moore's last batter, as that bullpen gate in the right field corner, that is still open. The set and the 1-0. At the knees for strike 1. Appears there's a Panther faunching at the bit at that bullpen gate to make his way out. 1 ball, 1 strike, and the offering fly ball to right field. Lamb makes the catch for out number 2 and quickly gets this back in on the relay. So 2 down for the Blue Jays in the bottom of the 5th, and Brandon Beeler is their last hope.
Now batting number 2, Brandon Beeler.
Except for a double play, that's about the best thing that could happen for Greenville, just a line drive straight to one of the outfielders. Brandon Beeler 0 for 2 on the afternoon, with 2 strikeouts and potentially the final batter for Jonah Moore. Would that be a good way to say goodbye to Moore with a home run? Given a ride, right center field, Torbeck on behind his head. Beeler closes in towards second base. He's digging for 3. 2 runs come in to score, and Beeler is in safely with a triple. Beeler getting the crowd fired up, and the Blue Jays strike for 2 runs. Here in the bottom of the 5th, it's 6-3. Greenville still on top. And now you got the other hitter you'd want to see in this lineup. That's Ryan Clavin. Clavin with a home run back in the 1st. And here comes Lynn Carlson to fetch Jonah Moore. So Jonah Moore's day is done. 4 2/3 innings pitched. He will not get the decision, as he will go to the bench, giving up 3 runs and only 1 of them earned. We'll take a break here on the Blue Jays Sports Network. When we come back, the conclusion of the 5th frame here from Fulton, Missouri. The new pitcher into the game for Greenville is Austin Rexroad. Rexroad, a 5 earned run average on the year, 18 innings pitched on 24 hits, 9 walks, and 18 strikeouts. But there are 2 down here in the bottom of the 5th inning. Jonah Moore's day is done. He will get the no decision. 4 2/3 innings pitched. He's given up at least 3 runs, could be responsible for 4, but only 1 will be earned. 4 hits, 6 strikeouts for him. And Clavin has a good eye there and works the count 2-0. Rexroad, this is his 11th appearance on the season. Tall righty. The pitch popped up. Clavin. That's into center field. Torbeck has a beat on it. Camps underneath it and makes the catch in center field. 2 runs come across on 1 hit, a triple by Brandon Beeler. His first hit of the game, and that's how the 5th inning will go into the book. 6-3 to the top of the 6th we go. We'll be right back. You're listening to Westminster Baseball on the Blue Jays Sports Network.
Now batting number 2, Ryan Taylor.
Here we go, guys. 3 quick outs. 3
Top of the
quick
6th inning, back in Fulton, Missouri. The second Helias Crusader on the Blue Jays squad is now into the game. That's Andrew Besson. He'll take over for Ian Cassidy. 5 innings of 6-run baseball for him. 2 earned runs, 7 hits, 5 strikeouts, and 4 walks. But is tied with a 1-1 count to the leadoff hitter Ryan Taylor, who's 2 for 3. How about that for Taylor? He got a hit or a plate appearance in each of the first 3 innings, and since the 4th, this is his first time up. The 1-1 pitch. Foul tipped, and the count is 1-2. Besson on the year, a 14.9 earned run average on 9 2/3 innings under his belt. 16 hits, 18 runs, 16 of them earned, so a chance for him to work on his ERA. Rackers, long throw to first base, but an infield single dug out. Ryan Taylor's 3rd hit of the game.
12, Adam Lamb.
So leadoff single, that'll bring up Adam Lamb with 1 on and nobody out. Again with Besson, as we look at slugging percentage, out of the 16 hits he's surrendered, 7 have been of the extra base variety. So runner at first, top of the sixth, 6-3 Greenville. Besson from the stretch will go after Adam Lamb. Pitch bunted back up toward the middle. Besson has it, bobbled it a couple of times, but the sacrifice bunt gets Taylor over to second base, and now there's one away.
Now batting, number 44, Clayton Wolf.
Clayton Wolf is 1 for 3, had a solo home run back in the fourth inning. That was the last, or I should say the second to last hit given up by Ian Cassidy. He'll make his way over to third base, talk some strategy with head coach Lynn Carlson. Wolf has 3 home runs on the year, 18 RBIs, hitting .324. Taking his time getting in the right-hand batter's box. Runner at second with one away. The top of the sixth and the sun behind some clouds, so momentarily I'm sure we'll have the lights on here. But an absolutely gorgeous spring day in mid-Missouri. Could be a little bit cooler, but not going to be complaining too much about the weather, as just as of April 1st, it was still in the 30s and 40s. 6-3, top of the sixth with one down and an 0-1 count. Ryan Taylor, the leadoff hitter, sits at second. Wolf awaits the pitch. In there for strike 2. Besson has 6 Ks on the season. Would love to tie up his strikeout to walk ratio with a strikeout here. He is ahead 0-2. The pitch. Got him swinging, and that's exactly what he did. 2 down in the top 6th frame. Sam Hodges will come up to hit. He is 1 for 2 with a homer. Besson has a lot of ties here to Jefferson City Post 5 club team of American Legion of Baseball. Was a teammate of Drew Beck's during the summer of 2017. Not only that, assistant coach Dane Hughes, son of head coach Dennis Hughes, is the head coach for Jefferson City Senior American Legion Post 5. So lots of Westminster ties there. They play just adjacent to the field, well, Ernie Vivian Field, that is. They share a parking lot. Ernie Vivian Field, the home of the Jefferson City Renegades during the summer, and during the spring, home to the Jefferson City Jays high school team. No balls, 2 strikes. The pitch. Right down the middle, but just a bit outside. So the count will move to 1-2 with 2 away. 6-3 your score, top of the 6th inning. Leadoff single for Ryan Taylor, then move over to second on a sacrifice bunt via Lamb. Then Wolf struck out swinging for the 7th strikeout of the year for Besson. Besson set from the belt. Deals the pitch. Got him swinging. Back-to-back Ks for Besson. That ERA will dip down just a bit. Gets a high five from Brandon Beeler, and the Blue Jays will go back to work on offense with 6 outs remaining in the game. 6-3, bottom of the 6th coming up. We'll be right back. You're listening to Blue Jay Baseball on the Blue Jay Sports Network. 4, 5, 6 hitters due up for Westminster College. Into the bottom of the 6th inning we go. It's 6-3 in favor of Greenville. And we thank you for spending your Wednesday night with us here on the Blue Jays Sports Network. Middle of the order is hitless, collectively 0 for 6. See if Hirschvogel can get things started, but he waves and misses off the Austin Rexroad curveball, and that's the first out of the bottom 6th frame. Will Stonecipher. Lots of interesting nicknames here. You got Stoney for Stonecipher. Skinny for Michael Skinner, and you get to hear it, but why not Hershey for Hirschvogel? Popped up on the first pitch and out of play, so Stonecipher gets the first strike on the board. Out of Lafayette High School in Wildwood, Missouri, Stonecipher, one of 20 Lafayette Lancers, the class of 2016, to play a sport at the collegiate level, so good numbers for them, and swings and offers, but no contact, and he's down 0-2. Stonecipher is 0 for 2 with a strikeout looking and a fly out to right field. We'll see what Rexroad deals back with. Wind up and the pitch. Fly ball, right center field gap. That's down for a hit. It bounces to the wall. Stonecipher digging for 2. Thought about going for 3, and he'll hold up with his 3rd double of the season. So Ryan Klimkowitz will hit with 1 down and a runner at second base. That's the first hit for the middle of the order. So that 0 for 7 turns into 1 for 8. Once again, still better than Chris Jones. First pitch in the dirt for ball 1. Rather, that's Chris Davis, not Chris Jones, but Chris Davis having one of the worst starts that a Major League Baseball player's ever had. 0 for his first 44 for the Baltimore Orioles. Swings and misses at the 1-0 pitch and is even the count up at 1-1. 6-3, Greenville leading into the bottom of the 6th. The Blue Jays are down to their final 5 outs to tie it up. Hirschvogel, or should I say Klimkowitz, takes some time and has some family members in the stands tonight cheering him on. The pitch. Ground ball to first base. Hodges picks it up on the one-hopper and throws out Rexroad, or should say Rexroad steps on the bag for out number 3 on the PFP. Stonecipher does move over to third base, and Zach Stiles will hit for the 3rd time tonight. Stonecipher sits 90 feet away from scoring. Stiles is 0 for 2. And just one of his last 5. Rexroad set and the pitch. Foul tip to the backstop, and the count is no balls to a strike. Stiles from Jefferson City, Missouri, his 2nd year on the Blue Jays. Also from Helias Catholic High School, like Andrew Besson. The pitch. Ground ball to third base. 1 hopper for Wolf. Throw to first in time, and the 6th inning is over. No runs on 1 hit, and the Blue Jays still down by 3. Into the 7th inning we go. We'll be right back. You're listening to Westminster Baseball on the Blue Jays Sports Network. Top of the 7th inning, Greenville leading Westminster 6-3. And if you're still on that Sophie Cunningham watch in the 2019 WNBA draft, the first round is now over, and the Phoenix Mercury have a chance to take her first pick of the overall, or first overall pick of the second round. But back to baseball here in Fulton. Westminster trailing 6-3. Andrew Torbeck, Ty Maxey, and Parker Panich due up for the Panthers in the 7th inning. Andrew Besson has worked the count 1-1. Now winds and deals the 1-1 offering. Ground ball to third base. That gets a bad hop over Hirschvogel's head into left field. We'll call that one a hit. Not a lot Hirschvogel can do about that one. There's a lot of potholes in the infield. And here comes Ty Maxey to hit with one on and nobody out. First hit of the day for Torbeck. We'll see how Besson deals with a base runner. Bunted at and missed for Maxey, so gives a strike away on the first pitch.
Here we go, guys. Get to work now. Let's get it out.
Here we go, Drew.
Hirschvogel at third base is playing with his feet in the infield grass. Which, by the way, if you haven't noticed, there are no base paths in the dirt down to first base and from third to home. It is in the grass. That's not entirely usual these days. See what Besson's able to work with. Bunt shown again. Popped up and thrown down to first in time for a double play. Torbeck caught napping. That's a huge base running mistake. What a play for Andrew Besson.
Now batting, number 39, Parker Punich.
Come on, Blue Jays. Let's go. Let's get this out here.
So 2 down on not even one swing of the bat. It's off the laying down of the bat barrel. That'll bring in Parker Panich for his 4th at bat. He's 1 for 3. Hit a double back in the 3rd, then came around to score, and other than that, he struck out twice looking. Off the inside part of the bat, and he's even the count up 1 ball and a strike.
Go, Drew. Come right at him now. Come on, 12.
Panich came in today hitting below 100, just 1 of 13, and his 2nd hit of the year is a double. Matches his first hit of the year, which was also a double. Lays off the 1-1, and it's outside 2-1. Now the lights are on with the sun completely out of sight. Got some clouds coming in from the west. And underneath the lights at Saucier Field. 3 balls and a strike, your count. Panich with the bases empty and the infield playing back. No shift on the outfield. 3-1 is upstairs for ball 4. So Devin Gum will come up to look for his first hit of the afternoon.
Now batting, number 10, Devin Gum.
Or really should say the night. We'll have a pinch runner at first base for Panich. Will be Austin Lawrence. So Austin Lawrence into the game at first base. Not the best base runner. He's tried stealing bases 5 times this season and has been caught 3 times. The first pitch fouled to the backstop for Devin Gum. Now it takes a couple of practice squishing of the bugs as he'll dig back in for this hit or for this at bat. Gum getting his first start out of the last 4 or 5 days. Besson checks off the mound, and Lawrence over at first makes no effort to get back to the bag. Lawrence, not a very large lead for him at first. Now kind of dances off the bag on the pitch that's fouled down the left field line. The count is 0-2 on Devin Gum. Not the worst spot for a catcher. Sure, you would love to extend the inning, but you do not want to be the last out of the inning. It takes you the longest to get your gear back up. Ideally, you'd like to get on base, come around to score, and then just sit in the dugout ready to go. With a 6-3 score, swing and a miss. Devin Gum strikes out, back-to-back Ks. Andrew Besson picks up his 3rd strikeout of his relief outing, and we will send it to the bottom of the 7th inning. The Blue Jays down to their final 3 bullets in this one. We'll be right back. You're listening to Westminster Baseball on the Blue Jays Sports Network. Bottom of the 7th inning, equivalent to the bottom of the 9th for Westminster College. But welcome back to Fulton, Missouri. The Blue Jays are down 6-3. The final 3 outs to go in Game 1 of this doubleheader set with Greenville College. I should say Greenville University. Michael Skinner has worked the count 2-0, and the theoretical tying run is in the hole right now for the Blue Jays, but first of all, you got to get the first 2 guys on base. Inside pitch. That hits Skinner. He'll go down to first base and take that one for the team. Some of the parents have noted on Austin Rexroad's motion, has a little bit of a hitch into his lead foot when he comes home. And now we'll have another meeting at the mound. Which I've not seen anyone warming up in the Greenville bullpen. But we will bring in Noah Casali to play third base. And if I had to guess, that means Wolf is going to come in to pitch. So we'll take a break. We'll get everything sorted out. And when we come back, we'll have the final 3 outs. Or hopefully, if the Blue Jays can rally, we'll have the final part of the game here from Saucier Field. And we'll be right back. You're listening to Blue Jay Baseball. Welcome back to Saucier Field in Fulton, Missouri. James Stanley with you here on the Blue Jay Sports Network. The day is done for Austin Rexford as he hit the leadoff hitter, Michael Skinner. He's down to first base. We have a new hitter into the game for Westminster College. That's Braden Beasley. Comes in for Ethan Rackers. Beasley on the year, a .333 hitter, 3 hits and 9 at-bats with a .600 on-base percentage. So I'm sure that's some of the strategy played out here for head coach Dennis Hughes. 1 ball, 1 strike with Greenville leading 6-3. We'll set your starting pitcher here momentarily. Pickoff attempt at first base, nothing going. So Casali comes in to play third base, and Clayton Wolf, here's a ground ball down the first base line. It's fair. Beasley rounding to second base, and Skinner being held up at third. How about that? A double off the bench for Beasley, and now the tying run will come to the plate for the Blue Jays with nobody out. Better yet, back up to the top of the order. Eisenreich will come in to hit. Clayton Wolf is in for the save, a 3.18 earned run average for him. He does have 6 saves on the season in 9 appearances. And if you're Eisenreich, all you got to do is get a single, then hand it off to Beeler, who's 1 for 3 on the day in the on-deck circle. Beautiful hit for Beasley down the right field line, and that will continue the hopes for Westminster College to hand Greenville their first conference loss of the season. 6-3, bottom of the 7th. First pitch, a ball. Eisenreich, 1 for 3 into this at-bat. He's grounded out to second base, single back up the middle, and flown out to center field. He can drive a ball opposite way. Again, a lot of room in right center. Seems like we've said that for both sides hitting. The 1-0. Popped up. This one may tail out of play. Casali has a beat on it and makes the catch. And Skinner thought about coming home on the short pop-up. He's quickly back to the bag. He was narrowly safe. So now the Blue Jays down to their final 2 outs of the game. Well, here comes the hottest hitter on the Blue Jays, Brandon Beeler. 1 for 3, and back in the 5th on that 0 for 2 appearance, he was due for a hit. So we'll see if he can keep the magic rolling. Runners at second and third. Greenville leading 6-3 into the bottom of the 7th with 1 out. Beeler will take his time and step out of the batter's box. Wolf, the third pitcher into the game for the Greenville Panthers. Trying to will his team to win number 11 in the SLIAC. Beeler looks the first pitch, a fastball out and away. The parents have it exactly right here in the fans section. Just get a base hit, pass it off to the next guy, and that's about all you can ask for. Beeler is the tie and run at the plate. As he awaits the pitch from Wolf. The 1-0. Ground ball to third base. Casali has it, throw to first. In there for out number 2. So the bottom of the order got it done to hand it off up to the top of the order, but what should be your 3 best hitters are throwing up blanks, as now Eisenreich and Beeler are combined 2 for 8. Intentional walk, and Clavin will go down to first base, so now the bases are loaded. And Hirsch Vogel represents the winning run at home plate. Hirschvogel is 0 for 3 with 2 strikeouts. Clavin at first, Beasley at second, Skinner at third. Wolf looking for save number 7. As Hirschvogel turns the corner but did not bite on the curveball, so he's ahead 1-0.
Here we go, Billy. Come on, nobody
Still a good amount of sunlight, but the sun not in sight. Lights are on, and the Blue Jays looking for some magic. Here's the 1-0. Inside and low for ball 2. Might be a situation where Wolf is trying to lull Hirschvogel into a little bit of a sleep. Then come back firing strikes, but Hirschvogel has to be ready. 6-3, bottom of the 7th. The 2-0 pitch misses inside. 3 balls and no strikes. A walk here would send Skinner home. Then the winning run would go to first and the tying run to second. The 3-0 pitch. In there for a strike at the knees. Just barely caught the black, and about every hitter is going to be taking that on 3-0. So now Wolf will have to battle back with this pitcher's count, or make that a hitter's count.
Here we go, Billy.
No more room at the end, a runner at every bag. The 3-1 pitch. In there for strike 2. Hirschvogel knew it. So this will start the carousel. The count is full. 2 outs in the bottom of the 7th. 6-3 Greenville. Now Wolf steps off and wipes some sweat from his forehead, puts his hat back on, and he'll climb back up out on the mound.
Make him pay here.
Hirschvogel at the plate, 0 for 3. 298 hitter coming into tonight's matchup, and now he takes his time. Runners will be going on anything with 2 away. Blue Jays down to their final out, the payoff pitch. Fly ball into right field and foul. Everyone will go back and go through the same motions. Think that Wolf, maybe his heart was pounding in his chest just a little bit.
Just like that.
With Clavin's speed at first, he might have been trying to go home and tie the game. But 6-3 your score, everyone on the edge of their seats and hoping for a Blue Jays win. Blue Jays down to their final strike and their final out. Clavin a healthy lead at first. He represents the tying run.
Step out.
3 balls, 2 strikes. Wolf is set and the pitch. Ball 4. That'll walk home Skinner, and it's 6-4. Still some life here for Westminster.
Number 27, Will Stonecipher.
So that 1 run comes in for Rexroad. And he will finish the day with 1 1/3 innings pitched to 1 run. It was earned on 1 hit and 1 strikeout.
Down it hard, buddy.
Stonecipher grounds the ball to second base. Picked up by Maxey. Throw to first, and that's the game. Stonecipher swung at the first pitch as Clayton Wolf will pick up his 7th save of the season.
End of game 1.
And Austin Rexford will get the win in Fulton in Game 1 of tonight's doubleheader. Blue Jays fall back to 500, 8-8, 4-3. Still second place in the SLIAC West, but Greenville continues their winning streak in SLIAC play, still undefeated now, 11-0, first place in the SLIAC East, and they improve to 19-7. Your losing pitcher, Ian Cassidy, 5 innings of work for him on 6 runs, 6 runs, 2 of them earned on 7 hits, 5 strikeouts, 4 walks. A little bit of a shame here for Jonah Moore, the starting pitcher for Greenville. Only went 4 2/3 innings pitched, so gave up 3 runs, only 1 of them earned. He will not get the win, had 4 hits, 6 strikeouts, and 1 walk. So a solid outing for him. But in the 7-inning game, he's unable to go the minimum length to pick up as being the pitcher of record. 6 runs on 9 hits for Greenville. They capitalize on 2 Westminster errors and leave 8 on the base paths. Meanwhile, for the Blue Jays, they lead the bases loaded in the bottom of the 7th. They strand 7 runners total and fall in this one 6-4. That's going to do it for us here. From all of us at Westminster College, we're going to step aside, take a short break. We'll have a different stream set for the next game of today's doubleheader. And then we'll be back with you shortly in about 30 minutes. So thanks for joining us here on the Blue Jays Sports Network. Greenville takes game 1 6-4, and we'll be right back for game 2. Thank you for joining us, and we'll see you next time.